Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 71 of Direwolf20's Modern Skyblock series. Today, it's another rocket launch day because we're going to take a look at going to rocket tier 3. I made one between episodes. Required a heavy amount of that dash stuff, which is, you know, good times. Not really. Just basically popped over to Mars, found some more dash, made the things. It wasn't all that complicated to make. Iron, compressed iron, another one of those, please. Are you busy? I suspect. Oh, you're not so busy. Okay, cool. So that means if you're not so busy, can I make my thermal suit stuff? Yeah, I can. That's what's up. Nice. So the current quest that I have, that I kind of taught some recipes for, is to get a tier 3 thermal suit. Hooray! And I'm assuming that that completely replaces the tier 1 thermal suit. So with that said, we should be cool to make one of these now. Hooray! Quest updated. Preparing for Mercury. So Mercury seems to be the next planet on our list, as it were. So I've got this big old tier 3 rocket now, ready to load himself up. How are we looking for fuel? Not terrible. Enough. But before we go, obviously, we're going to want to prepare, you know, all the standard stuff. So from mechanism, we are going to want the following. We're going to want a teleporter frame times 9, I think. And then a teleporter. And then a quantum entangler. And that should be about all she wrote, right? So that'll get me power and remote teleporting capabilities. And if we wanted to, we could get either the anchor upgrade, or we can chunk load with this little gadget right here. So we've still got claimed chunks, loaded chunks, 36 out of 50. So we should be good. Now, do you have enough? You do have enough fuel. Nice. So that's enough to get me to Mars, which is cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. So you've got your teleporter done. You're currently working on the required components for all the other things, which shouldn't be too bad. So there's your teleporter frames, and your quantum entangler is probably in here somewhere, working on refined obsidian ingots. That should be done pretty quickly. Quantum entangler. Let's go, buddy. Did you make the thing? There you are. Nice. All right, cool. So quantum entangler, teleporters, and teleporter frames. You know what else I should do is probably make another teleporter and teleporter frame. Because we're going to want this one, as we recall, to be here. Because unlike the other teleport mods that we've played in the past, you really want a one-to-one teleport guy. So let's... Do I just have one space or two? So this is rapidly becoming teleporter's row. Cool. And then you're done, and the other teleporter should be done pretty quickly. We just want some power. Advanced universal cable. Sounds like a plan to me. Did I not ever hook this guy up with power? Well, that's funny, because he seems to have plenty. But now he's good, right? So your destination will be Mercury. Check. And set. That looks cool. So let's get ourselves our other teleporter frames, and I guess we're ready to go, right? So let's remove this suit. Let's equip this suit. Looking good. Let's check our oxygen. Oxygen's not looking so hot. So let's fill that stuff up with what we've got to do. Shouldn't be too bad to do. Well, at least fill one up. And you know what I'll do? I think I had an extra oxygen tank in here, didn't I? Totally do. It's a good idea to waste your reserve tank because you're too lazy to fill up another tank and wait for it. That's proper spacefaring technology right there. It's just like, hey, we have a reserve tank. Let's forget that we have a reserve tank. How are we for infinity energy units? All right, cool. Would it be the end of the world to request 30 more of yous? You need quartz. Lots and lots of quartz. You know, it's all good. Should we go to Mars? I think we're going to go to Mars. So you're check. Equip these dudes. So let's just make sure, actually, before we actually go to Mars, that I do have everything I need. So preparing for Mercury is done. Not Mars, Mercury. So now we have to go to Mercury. Is sure worth the trouble, as it has 3 useful materials. Oh my, 3 useful materials. Okay, cool. Potash, mercury, and carbon ingots are all going to be found on Mercury. So fuel is check, teleporters are check, quantum entangloper is check. We've got oxygen, we've got a suit, we've got everything we need. Let's launch. So Mars was like a quick turnaround, as it were. I'm hoping that Mercury doesn't have, and I'm assuming it does, but I'm hoping Mercury doesn't have a dungeon like the other ones did. Because the dungeon thing, I'm getting a little bit on. Now, a couple of people have commented, I've read the comments, yes, that the dungeons should spawn in the same XYZ coordinates on every planet. So if I go look at the dungeon coordinates on the Moon or Mars, that should make it a lot easier to find the dungeon coordinates on Mercury, for example. So if we do have to do that, we will test that theory. Hey, look at this. Where's Mercury? Oh, you know what? I haven't discovered it yet. Yeah, that's what's up. I forgot. That's what's up. I haven't discovered that there dude yet. Pretty sure my rocket will be in there, so the only thing I theoretically wasted would be fuel. Aha, see? Look at that. Sweet. Our chest. Cool. And fuel is not a problem for us. Like, we are good on fuel. In fact, we might just do this. Can I put these in here? Yeah, I can. Sweet. All right, cool. So that's right. We have to discover Mercury, which was a thing that we were having trouble with. So we've discovered the Moon. Now you're going to try and discover Mars. That's all this satellite controller seems to want to do. And there's not another tier of satellite, right? So there's just basic satellites. Satellite controller and satellite builder. That's all there is. So do we need, like, more satellites? I don't know. I don't know how that works. And hey, look, there's my portable teleporter. Remember I lost that? Sweet. All right, well, now we have an extra one. So you're researching Mars at the moment. You could fill up some more fuel if you would be so kind. And I guess since we didn't actually use our oxygen tank, that's cool. Yeah, so I forgot to check that we actually knew how to get to the planet we were getting to. I know I checked most other things. To be fair, that's an extra mod, is planet progression. That's the one that's, you know, not part of normal Galacticraft. So you are researching Mars. Let's come back in a minute and see what happens after it researches Mars. Well, hey, the good news is that we are now researching planet Eris. The bad news is that we are now researching planet Eris, which is not Mercury. But hey, we got our second Mars and our 4th moon, so that's something. So what happens if I just, like, cheat in the Mercury? Shh, don't tell anyone that I cheated. And then we get ourselves a couple of batteries. Shh, don't tell anyone that I cheated. And the research paper for Mercury? Oh, hey, what's up? I discovered Mercury. Good job, me, for finding Mercury. Woot! Let's go. Yeah, so I think we've definitely devolved into the, it's a random chance what planet you're going to discover, and because you can't automate that machine, it means sitting there and waiting for what is effectively a minute or 10, it seemed like. And I can check the recording times on the videos, but I think it was roughly about 10 minutes to do a research. And I even, like, did a couple other things to, like, test, like, what are the chances of finding Mercury, and I didn't after several minutes. So I'm like, either I can sit here for hours waiting for Mercury, or I'll just cheat into the planet, and then we'll go check out Mercury. So that's what I did. So, clearly definitely cheating a little bit with this mod, but we'll see. Mercury, hello. Let's launch. Whoosh. Taking one small step. Let's see what Mercury looks like. Presumably going to be rather hot, would be my expectation. There'd probably be quite a bit of heat going on? Ooh, hold space to slow down. Oh yeah, we're definitely landing on something that looks quite hot. Yeah. So there's something going on in the sky there. Is that like one of the... Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Come on, gravity's not that strong on Mercury. Wow, okay, that was close. Wow, okay, all kinds of bad guys. Whoosh. Hey, look, there's villagers on Mercury, so that's cool. So there's apparently a lot of resources to get on Mercury. So let's establish our base real quick. Like super quick base establishment protocols. Boop, doop, doop, doop. Hello, more alien villagers. Wow, you guys are all over the place, huh? And then let's do this, and this, and that, and that. And you, Quantum Entangloper, can be Mr. Oxygen set. Your side config for power will be all out. That means you should have plenty of juice. And then you... here, and then you should be Mercury set. And then before we leave, let's F3G this and just see chunk borders. We are in a chunk. So we will claim the chunk that we are in and chunk load it. And then F3G. And then we should have no problem getting home. And more importantly, coming back. Because we fixed the chunk loading options in the configs. So that now chunk loading is actually a thing. So hooray! Chunk loading works, traveling Mercury works, we discovered Mercury. Yay, cool, nice. All right, I have to look into decontamination because we are at like 25% radiation, and I don't know what that means or how bad that is, but it doesn't sound ideal, that's for sure. So let's come back in a minute and we'll see what's what. All right, so here we are on Mercury. How cool is that, I guess. So things and stuff. So to complete the quests for Mercury, we need to get these things: potash, mercury, and carbon ingots. And hopefully, that's cool. So why don't we just use, like, this little house thing that we're living in. So what kind of jumping ability do I have on Mercury? Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Okay. And do I still have my glowstone torches? Yeah, I do. Nice. So I don't know where exactly we're going to find, like, potash, and so these come from potash on extra planets. It doesn't really give me a good indication. Does the book say where they might live? It doesn't. It doesn't really. Also, several people said I should probably just... Is that it? What hotkey did I use for that? Nope, not that one. Not that one. What I use for my control category, COFH. I used numpad 8. Because the quiver is what gives it explosion, not the bow. So I think you shouldn't be exploding anymore. Oh, good. And you can be infused now, and no more explosions. Good. Okay. So no good indication as to where to find whatever I need to find. So currently we're at, like, what? Y level 77. Okay. So not terrible. Wow. I am really not wanting to have a magnet on. That is what's up. Magnet off. And you can go in there for the time being. Cool. So vein mining plus that food eating mod is a super good combination. All right, so I guess I'll mine a little bit here and see what I can come up with in terms of resources. Because vein mining is just a nice way to do the thing. And we'll be back in a minute when I find something good. Hey, I found Mercury Iron Ore. Woot. So that's a thing. Just need to figure out how to pick it up. Hey, there we go, Mercury Iron Ore. Well, I got 2 of them. A less than exciting amount, but, you know, gotta start somewhere. So that's 1 of 3 resources I need to find down here. And is that another set of mercury? Yeah, it is. Nice. Okay, I'll take you. Hey, and even more mercury. Oh, mercury, wait. Mercury Iron Ore is just iron, isn't it? Less than exciting! Wah wah. That is not mercury. I thought that was okay. Nope. Fool and Dyer. Sneaky little sneaky tricks. Mercury Copper Ore and Mercury Iron Ore are much the same as regular iron and copper. Mercury Ore, that's what we want. That's the one we want. Yes, mercury. Just straight up mercury ore. Okay. So at least we have like a rough idea of the Y level that we want to be at to mine this stuff. So we just want mercury ore, not mercury iron, mercury copper, etc. So just a recap on the old book. Potash, mercury, and carbon. Carbon ingots coming from what? Carbon ingots from exoplanets comes from smelting carbon chunks or carbon ore. So, pretty straightforward. All right, so back to the things and the stuff. And I found carbon ore. Sweet. All right, making progress. There it is. Suspected there would be more there. Suspicions confirmed. All right, so now all we gotta find is the potash. Wherever the potash is, then we'll be good to go. Hey, look, more carbon ore. So it looks like mercury ore is like a little bit higher. Carbon we're finding more towards like the Y level 40 range. Maybe potash is even further down. So we'll like just keep on keeping on. See, yeah, definitely more carbon in this general Y level. Because it doesn't seem to be super rare once we get down here. So that's iron, that's copper, iron, more carbon, yay. Copper, tin, copper. The problem is some of them, you know, like, I don't know what potash ore looks like. I guess I could look it up in JEI, but, you know, I'm enjoying exploring a little bit enjoying. More carbon. And then, you know, we'll go from there. So, I guess back in a minute when we find the next one, which is potash. See, here's the thing. This is mercury tin ore. This is mercury ore. They look almost identical. If you're looking very carefully, you can see that the mercury tin ore is slightly less white than the mercury ore. Like, the mercury ore is like a whiter white. So, you know, that's a thing. But it's actually really hard to tell the difference. You really have to use, like, JEI. You have to use Whale to, like, figure out what you're looking at. That's really what it is. All right, so carbon and copper, back to looking, back in a minute. All right, I think my suspicions were correct that potash would appear to be lower down in the Y levels. So there's some more tin and iron, but we found potash. So vein mining, huge help in this ore excavation area that we're doing. So that's good times. So mercury tin ore. I don't know if it like stops. So there's some carbon ore. So carbon ore exists way down at the bottom Y levels, and so does mercury ore. So I guess it's safe to say that you're allowed to go to like bedrock on mercury to get all three types of ore, and that's cool. That is very cool. Okay. And I'll just do a little bit of mining and we'll come back. FYI, natural cave system down here. Look at that. Way down here at bedrock. So I have like a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for, but it's still actually a little bit tricky to find. Tin versus regular mercury ore. That's tin. But that's mercury ore. Nice. Nice vein of it too. It's not super hard. It basically spawns like all the other ores, basically. Alright, continuing to mine. Alright, so I should be able to teleport to Mercury now. Teleporting. Woot. Wait, did I teleport to Mars or Mercury? I thought I did Mercury. Teleport. Mercury. Teleport. You're killing me, Smalls. Mars teleport? Mercury. Wait, do I have to set it? Okay, there we go. I gotta set it and then hit teleport. Got it. Learning how the things work and stuff. So that gets me back home. Cool. I guess it just, if it doesn't know, like, you know, which of the two to pick, it just picks one randomly. So we got what I would call a relatively healthy amount of mercury, carbon, and potash. So what can I do with these ores? I can crusher them into two. I can redstone furnace them, flux anodize them, tectonic initiator, induction smelter, magma crucible. Can I mechanism process these guys? I can purification chamber them, so that's cool. Enrichment chamber, nice. Okay, so let's do, just so I can have my jetpack up and running. So like, can I crush you or just enrichment? Maybe just enrichment chamber? I think that's the one that you use for doubling anyway. Now, can you also go in here? You can go into basic smasher from extra planets. Or, okay, cool. Looks like we have to get a basic smasher for this. And how about you, carbon ore? Can you also be processed by mechanism? Sag mill can process you, but yes, mechanism can as well. Cool. Beautiful. Okay. So while that cooks, let's look into what's involved in looking at this crusher thing from Advanced Planetary whatchamacallits. So a basic block smasher needs what? Compressed mercury. Okie dokie then. Mercury. Cool. So that can just be smelted as per usual smelting processes. So probably going to want a few of them. Compressed mercury can do what? You are 2 to 2. So some of them are 2 to 1, and some of them are 1 to 2, and some of them are 2 to 2, and some of them are 1 to 1. And there's different varieties of recipe for that plate maker thingy. But then in addition to you, we're going to want 3 pistons. Redstone, please. Always on the redstone. Yes, leave the thing. And then in addition, we're going to want a couple anvils. So let's get 6 of these dudes. Let's get a few extra, because I suspect we're going to need another launch plate thingy soon. 2 of you. 1 more of you. Oh, you know what? I put the wrong amount of mercury in here. So that should be cool. So you make one of these dudes. Cool. And if we check out you, Galacticraft should have fragmented carbon. Is that what's up? Nah, that can't be it. We should go check that carbon doohickey. But you, Mr. Block Smasher. I would really like to place you the correct direction now. There we go. So you can go in and do that. Processing, smashing. Smashing. So carbon from Galacticraft. Carbon ore, yes. That turns into, in the enrichment chamber, carbon dust. Ah, there it is, carbon dust. Nice, okay, cool. And I assume that you can then be processed either with, you know, if we want to get further into the lines with, okay, no, you can't really. I was wondering if you could do like that mechanism makes more stuff thing, but I don't think so. So I think we just smelt it. Smelt away, carbon. I'll take it. And then you should be getting near done. Enough to hopefully mark my quest complete. Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray! Nice. Alright, so that is a completed quest. So a tier 4 rocket needs a tier 3 dungeon key! Wah, 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 wah. Waypoints? Dimension all. Moonbase Fortress Dungeon. I want to say dungeon. So this is... Wow, look at all these planets. So negative 2176, negative 2222, right? So in theory, there should be a Mercury-based dungeon at that location, because that's the same location. If what the YouTube commenter said is true, which I have no reason to believe it's not, what I would suspect is that going there would find what we want. Now, I have an elite gas tank of oxygen, and I'm not entirely sure why, but you can go back away. And what else we got going on here that we don't need on us at the moment? You, dungeon locator, creative mode only. Shh, don't tell anyone. So let's go check it out, shall we? 2176, 2222. That is the location of the dungeon. As it was on the moon, I believe, is where I bookmarked that one. Right? So, let's see what we got going on. Let's see what we can see. I feel like I have about 1,000 blocks to run. I have my teleporter, right? Wow. Actually, yeah, Mercury's like a pretty interesting world gen, to be fair. Much, oh boy, oh boy. Nobody panic, but wow, it hurts to fall on Mercury. Mercury's gravity is not as light as one might expect for a very small planet. But yeah, we roughly want to go... Is this the right direction? No. Negative 2176. Correct. Negative 22. Yeah, so roughly in this direction. So I guess what we'll do... Let's come back in a minute once I get there, and we'll see if it's correct. Well, unless I did something super derpy, it does not appear to be correct. Because I am at, as you can see, negative 2176, negative 2222, and I ain't seeing no dungeons. Now, that's not to preclude me from doing something derpy, because that's, you know, Dyer's prerogative. But I feel like I didn't derp too badly on those coordinates. I'd vein mined to, like, just basically go down and figure out, like, what I don't have. And I learned I don't have a lot. Yep, I don't see a dungeon here. So what I'm going to do is just follow the compass and see where it leads me. What is this stuff? It is infected water. You can only obtain this fluid on Mercury. That's cool. This fluid has extreme reactors compatibility. Also cool. Okay. I don't want to jump into it because no idea what that's going to do. But I can put all you guys away. I can grab my magnet ring. Get the ones that fell. And quickly the opposite of helping. Magnet ring. And away we go. Dude, look at that terrain gen. That's weird looking. That's very weird looking. Continuing to look for a dungeon, but look at that. That's just weird. Is that weird looking? It's weird looking. Alright, so here's the thing. I had to teleport back to my Mercury base. I don't see anything wrong with my indicators on the right-hand side. I have oxygen, I have thermal protection, I have the red line, the blue line. I don't know what's up, but I'm taking damage on Mercury for reasons that I can't explain at the moment. Like, there's no indication as to why I should be taking damage, but I am. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm at 25% radiation. We could... Sleeping will apparently get rid of it. So there's that. Your current radiation level is 95%. Oh, well maybe that's why I'm taking damage. Decontamination chamber is a thing I think I need to make. Reduces, okay, basic decontamination unit, basic, okay, cool. Look at all these things that you've got going on. Volcanic ingot. I don't know that I found those. Can be found on Jupiter and Io. Well then, ha, 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 ha. What else can I do to not have? Sleeping anti-rad drinks will help reverse the. Okay, anti-rad. Anti-radiation by 50%. Well, that seems more useful. Anti-rad drinks. So we've got nothing. Clean water bucket. Press R to see how to obtain. Purifier. Infected water bucket. You can obtain this. Okay, cool. Well, remember when I grabbed all that infected water? Good thing I did. Cool. And then in addition, we need potassium iodide, which we get from potassium and potassium iodized salt, which comes from a basic crystallizer, a liquid crystallized water bucket on Ceres and Europa. I don't have access to Ceres and Europa yet. Wah wah. Potassium comes from potash shards. Well, that's cool at least. Compressed magnesium. I don't remember getting magnesium. We can get magnesium. So we can make magnesium alchemical ore dust. So that's cool. Space magnesium ingot. Space magnesium ingots. Cool beans. Actually, I think space magnesium ingots are different than magnesium ingots, it would appear. Which is quite the bummer. Saturn magnesium ore. Oh my goodness. So something tells me that I'm not getting any anti-rad drinks. Not anytime soon. Looks like we're gonna have to like just... Is sleeping my only option then? Because that's like 5% every time I sleep. That ain't cool. So I'm assuming that I can then step through here and survive a little bit longer. So I explored for a really long time on Mercury, yet again. See, when I go through here, it says you're now subject to 25% radiation. You're subject to it. But my current radiation level... How can I, like, see what my current radiation level is? Yeah, that's not helping. What indicates my current radiation level? Short of when I sleep, it tells me. And me taking damage, obviously. Yay for this awesome bow. So, concerned that there may not be a good way. So how can I check my radiation level? I believe that is not Galacticraft, though. The radiation thing... The higher the tier spacesuit, the slower radiation will be gained. So these spacesuits that I have... definitely play a role in reducing the accumulation of radiation. Titanium ingots. Have I found titanium yet? I feel like titanium has yet to be found. And though to be fair, I think I can make it through this alchemical process, or not. Okay, I thought there was an alchemical way to make titanium. I don't know if it's ore dictionaried. That's the main problem. But it looks like it's mostly titanium that gets me access. There's a little bit of lead going on there, but tier 2 armor is titanium ingots. Ilmenite ore. And I'm not gonna... Titanium alchemical ore dust makes ilmenite ore, which I can get. So I could get that in a non-planetary progress way. Or I can just keep taking naps when it's nighttime, which sounds awful. Because if you lose 5%, we basically have to wait 20 in-game days to like reduce our radiation all the way. Wah, wah, wah. But I would love it if like there was some on-screen indication, like this is your current total radiation. Like you're at, right, whatever number, 25% radiation. Like you're getting 25% and you're currently at whatever it is. Ooh, that's not cool, because I have no idea how long I can survive on this planet without starting to take damage again. But the gist is, once I start taking damage again, I have to sleep in order to remove 5% of my radiation, and then I have to stuff and things. So I guess what I'll do is I'll start following the compass again. So I was following the compass out there for a really long time, and it did not go well. I found no dungeons. So I'm going to look around again this time, and we'll be back in a minute when I either start taking radiation damage again or find a dungeon. And it did not take me long to start receiving radiation damage again. So I guess what I need to do is sleep. So just to be clear, right, like, I want to see, just so I can show this on camera, sleeping at this point should reduce my radiation by 5%, right? And it's currently at 95. So yes, it filled back up to 100. I wish there was, is there some kind of like, so that's from, is it extra planets? Is there like an item that can show me my current personal radiation level? Actually, all these different tiers of rockets are also extra planets, which is interesting. But I would love it if there was some kind of radiation measuring device. Geiger count? Right-click to see your current radiation level. Can be obtained from a Mercury dungeon. Wah, wah, wah. So, I think at this stage, unless there's some way I can get into that decontamination chamber process, so mercury battery, lapis filter, string mesh, so none of that looks terrible. Iodized salt I can get through the liquid crystallized water bucket process. Well, I don't really see a good way to get that liquid crystallized water. I don't know what that's from. You can obtain this fluid on Ceres and Europa. Right, okay. And then volcanic ingot, which can be found on Jupiter and Io. So, wrapping up point. Daryl 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll see. I feel like we've gotten stuck with our progress. We're gonna have to sleep a lot to lower our radiation level on Earth. So maybe we'll take a break from the planetary exploration, sleep through a couple nights. There's other things we can work on. And then we'll come back to planetary exploration once our radiation level is dropped. And hopefully then we can find our Mercury dungeon. All right, that was my signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.